Hello everyone, it's Tilly from Tilly Journals. Welcome back to my channel and to another Plan With Me video. I am planning for the week of the 4th of March in my 7x9 print impression planner with Tilly Journal inserts, which is my shop if you don't know. Don't know why I'm being like that, but I'm being a little weirdo. I am using the afternoon tea kit from Plannerface. This was a mystery last year and is now available in the shop. I do PR for Plannerface, so you can get use Tilly 10 to save 10%. No, you can use Tilly to save 10% and to get an extra freebie. They're the words I'm looking for. I do get a discount for promoting her stickers, but I absolutely love Plannerface and most of my kits are from her, so that would be why I PR for her. What else am I using? I am using the Daisy Dot underlays from my shop in Barbados Blue, I think it is called, not quite sure, but yeah. And then I am using a light blue foil, light blue hollow foil from Scribble Prints Co. In the confetti format for my overlays. And I think that's kind of everything. So let's get straight into it, into the books I read this week, because I did finish 5 books this week, so there is quite a lot to say. So the first book I finished this week was Happenstance by Tessa Bailey. So this is about Elsie, who's an inspiring journalist. Whilst she's chasing a story, she gets stuck on a cable car with 3 men, Gabe, Tobias and Banks, who are all very different. There's an instant connection between Elsie and all 3 of the men. Can they make a quadruplet relationship work? Basically, I think how much you're going to enjoy this it depends how you go into it. If you go into it wanting an insta-love, quadruplet, spicy story, you're gonna love it. If you go in expecting an amazing storyline and a really lovely romance, probably don't pick it up with minimal spice. I got it from the library because it's Tessa Bailey and I like Tessa Bailey. I didn't quite realise how spicy it would be, but I'm glad I read a few reviews, because if I'd gone in just expecting a normal romance, I would have been like, oofed. The spice is 10 out of 10. There's so much of it. This is kind of more just an erotic fiction book than a romance, but yeah. The third act drama was a bit predictable, and the time jump epilogue made me groan, but I'd have preferred to have some more reactions to them as a group than that. But yeah, don't read this for an amazing story. That's not what you're gonna get out of it, but it's good. Next up we have Clubbing by Andy Watson, which was another library pickup for me. This is a teen, middle grade, is that the phrase I'm looking for? Middle grade, I don't really know, middle grade graphic novel. So Charlotte's sent off to her grandparents in the countryside after getting caught using a fake ID to get into a club. Maybe it's YA, I don't know. They own a country club and Charlotte has to adjust to her life there. Honestly, if this hadn't been a pretty short graphic novel, I would have DNF'd it, and I should have DNF'd it, which is what 1 star is to me. I had to slog through it. I hated the characters. It did my least favourite thing of graphic novels, which is basically telling me via text what's happening rather than letting the pictures speak for themselves. And there was just so much text in every drawing, and that's not what I want a graphic novel to do at all. The story was far-fetched and annoyed me. The murder mystery in it was predictable, and the romance was obvious. Unless this book sounds like exactly your cup of tea, probably don't bother. I know that sounds awful, and I hate saying that about a book, but it really just wasn't for me. I just did not enjoy it at all. Moving on to a book I really did enjoy was One of Us is Dead by Geneva Rose. This is essentially it's sold as a thriller. So Jenny owns a high-class elite salon called Glow in Buckhead, where a murder's just taken place. Joy and her while she's interviewed by the police and tells the story of everything that led up to the death. This jumps between the present, which is the police interview, and then the past, and the past is told in 5 different points of views. So Jenny, and then we've got Karen, Sharon, Crystal and Olivia's as well. Each of them has their own drama going on. in the story. So Sharon's husband, the mayor of Buckhead, has recently left her and remarried a new younger woman, Crystal. Karen's good friends with Sharon, and Olivia is trying to become Queen Bee of Buckhead. Jenny witnesses it all as the owner of Glow, and essentially you follow them on the lead up to the murder and discover who will survive Buckhead. You spend most of the book not knowing who's died. Obviously, you know it's not Jenny, because the point of view, like, you've got her police point of view after it's happened. I really enjoyed it, and the audiobook has multiple narrators, so it's although there's 5 points of view and 2 times for the book, it's really easy to follow what's going on. And you, as I say, you spend most of the book not knowing who's died, and I really hoped it was a certain person. I'm not sure I'd describe it as a thriller. It's more about the like friendships and relationships in Buckhead, and there's some thriller elements. I was really rooting for a certain relationship, which if you've read this, I suspect you know who I'm talking about. There is a lot of drama, a lot of secrets, and it's just so much fun to read. Like, I am not one of these glitzy glam people that would be at this Glow. It's just not my cup of tea. It's not my, like, series. I didn't like several of the characters, but that works for this book. You're not meant to, I don't think. I don't want to say any more than that because I don't want to start spilling secrets. But it's really, really fun. And if you like popcorn thrillers or contemporary fiction and things about relationships between people, I really recommend you read this. It's probably like one of the most unexpected loved reads I've read this year. So yeah, I'd highly, highly recommend that. Next up, we have Northern Lights, which is by Philip Pullman. It's the first of the His Dark Materials books, and this is a 5-star straight up for me. I love these. They are middle grade, but they're quite dark for middle grade, to be honest. So essentially, Lyra lives in Jordan College in Oxford. She has what's called a demon, which is it's spelled slightly different from demon, but it's like a part of her in an external form that takes the form of different animals that she and others can speak to. They overhear, witness somebody being attempted, their uncle being attempted to be murdered, save him, and then essentially everything that happens after that, she ends up going on a journey because children are being kidnapped and her best friend is kidnapped, so she goes on a journey to try and rescue Roger, essentially. It's an amazing, amazing read. It's the first of the trilogy. I really recommend the His Dark Materials trilogy. They're some of my all-time favourite books. I regularly want to go back and listen to them, and this must be my like third read in the last few years. Third, fourth. In the last 2 years, this is probably my third reread. There's full cast audiobooks and they're really, really excellent. So I'd really recommend them. Like, I love these books so much. When the first film came out, because there's now a TV series which is excellent. The film is not great. I auditioned to play Lyra because I was the right age when the first film, the only film that was made. I got down to very far, like met Nicole Kidman, who plays one of the main characters in the series far. So yeah, really love these books. They're fantastic. Really highly recommend. They're quite dark for middle grade, to be honest. There's some quite... They're not necessarily happy, like, the endings aren't necessarily happy. That's what I'd say about them, but that works for these books. And I love them. So if you've not read the His Dark Materials trilogy, like, enjoy. It's really great. Finally, the last book I have to talk about is Wired Differently, 13 Neurodivergent People You Should Know, by Jo Wells. This is another 1-star for me. It's a very brief summary of 13 neurodivergent people and how they've made an impact on the world. It had so much potential. Like, this has so much potential to me, but Wells' execution is just, it's not for me. He talked more about himself than the people in some of the chapters, and I was like, He also focused so much on the ableism and bullying that the people have endured, and I just think that didn't need to be repeated 30 times. Like, it's an important topic. It's important to remember that these people have suffered from horrible ableism, but it does not need to be the focus of each chapter. We should be celebrating you're telling me these are 30 people I need to know about, so tell me why I need to know about them and tell me what is important about them, not about how they've overcome ableism every single chapter. It just becomes dull by the end of it. Like, you need, if you want that much talk about the endured bullying and ableism, your book needs to be at least twice as long. Like, it really does. I love the phrase wired differently as well, but the beginning of this book makes me angry. It starts, no one in this book is more normal. If you change that to no one in this book is neurotypical, fine, maybe we can agree on that as a start, but why are we calling neurotypical people normal, first off? And why are we continuing the stereotype that neurodivergent people aren't normal? Isn't the whole point that there isn't actually a normal? Everybody is unique. I know that's awful. Like, the only way we are all normal is that we are all unique. And yes, neurodivergent people are wired differently, and that's why I love this title. But that doesn't make them not normal. It doesn't make them unusual or odd. It just makes them people. And yes, that's like, I am neurodivergent. I have a diagnosis of dyslexia, and I probably have ADHD. I am neurodivergent. But, like, why are we continuing that stereotype that neurodivergent people aren't normal and don't fit in? Let's not do that. Let's celebrate the ways they are different rather than pointing out that they are different, you know? I have so many problems about how this book was put together, and I think that just completely ruined my enjoyment. Again, I probably should have DNF'd this, but again, it was not a long book, so I just kept going. And to be honest, I kind of regret that decision because it made me mad more than anything. I went into this book really hoping to learn something about some more neurodivergent people, and learn some neurodivergent people that aren't, like, probably I have heard of, and you know what I mean, that have just taken part in history, and we want to celebrate that neurodiversity of them, not be like, judge them for being neurodivergent, which I think is what this book did. And the author is neurodivergent. Like, it just missed the mark for me, and I feel like I've ranted enough about it, so I'm going to shut up. I am still putting it down at the last few boxes, the last 2 days. I have done this as a mirror image because I love doing that particularly with like monochrome spreads. So this is all blue, so I love putting like the colours so they fade out or fade in to like the brightest, you know. So the outside is like pale blue, and then we go to bright blue in the middle. I just love that effect in like unicolor, monochrome spreads. I think unicolor is a better phrasing because monochrome generally means black and white. But anyway, let's actually get into the week, because I am going around in circles right now and I don't really know what I'm on about. So why don't we get into describing what happened in the week rather than just, you know, not. So we are talking about the week of the 4th of April. I'm trying to look, because I worked 3 days this week, and I'm trying to look what hours I did. So I did 3 shorter days. That's what I was trying to look at. So on to Monday. So then my highlight of this week, which is in the sidebar, was that it was a rough work week, and it really was. So on Monday, I started the day with playing some piano, and then I had my planning call with my bestie Soph. I talk about this all the time, but yeah. And then I went to visit my grandpa. He was not standing up. I think I filmed a video during the planning call with Soph. It might have even been the spread before this. I think it probably was. So yeah, I filmed a video during our planning call. Then I went to see my grandpa. If you watch my last plan with me, I've been quite worried about him because his mobility had really dropped, and he just refused to stand up when we were there. So it was quite distressing in some ways, but also it was really nice to see that he was his normal self other than that. So that was good. Came home from that and went for a walk to get my steps in. Then I did some gift buying. I can't remember what gifts, but apparently I did so. Did some reading, had some sexy times with my husband, and then I took off my nails for the work week. I'm not allowed false nails at work because, you know, infection prevention. But yeah, so I have to take them off for my work days, which means I get like nice nails for half the week, which is lovely. But yeah, it's a bit annoying that I have to take them on and off, and I can't glue them, which I much prefer, because otherwise I can't get them off 3 days later. came home, no, after I did my nails, I did cook my dinner, our dinner, and then we played Plate Up. If you haven't been following me for a while, for the last couple of videos, I am obsessed with Plate Up at the moment. It is a video game. We play it on Switch, but it is available on lots of platforms that Anna from Plannerface really got me into, and now I'm literally obsessed with it. And we got to day 15 with another food. We just reached day 15 for the first time a couple of days before this, so it was still very exciting reaching day 15. On to Tuesday, I had work. After work, I went to see my friend who had literally had a baby on the Monday. She gave birth on the Monday, so I got to meet her little boy. Then I went for a walk when I got home. It was so lovely to meet him. Like, he is adorable, and it was really nice to see my friend, and she was just so happy and like so like in that baby bubble, and it was just so lovely to see her. Yeah, it was awesome. Anyway, when I got home, having seen her, I went for a walk. Then I did some reading of one of the books. I again cooked dinner. Wow, me cooking 2 days in a row. Whew. What was I doing? We probably cooked together, I'm not gonna lie. And then I played some Plate Up. On Wednesday, I was really low. When I woke up, I went to the opticians for my first contact lens check. So this was after I tried the daily lenses. It was like my follow-up after that, and I decided I wanted to try monthly lenses because I really liked wearing them, but they also weren't very comfortable, but they fit really well. So they looked at the dryness on my eyes, and I got some eye drops to try and sort out that, to make it, you know, comfortable for me, and it's definitely helped a lot. Anyway, then on the way home, I went to the grocery shop, and then I had my appointment with my care coordinator. We are working on a perfectionism module, but we obviously also talk about how things are going in general. So yeah, that's that. Played some Plate Up after that. Was really not feeling great, so like I was just looking after myself, playing lots of Plate Up, and then I built some of my Hogwarts Lego. Then I was really in my feelings, so I just marked being super low, and then I marked in Plate Up again. On to Thursday, I was at work again. I did 4-hour shifts every day this week, and this was a really awful day. We had like 2 crash calls, and it was just rough. Honestly, I wanted to cry for a lot of the shift. It was just shitty. It really was. I was really low, and when I got home, I had a complete and utter breakdown and cried to Soshi. And we had lots of cuddles, and he tried to reassure me, but I just, yeah, it wasn't happening. Yeah, it wasn't ideal. I was really scared at that point that my phased return was going to fail and that I couldn't do this. But yeah. I was meant to have gone to my mum and dad's house that evening, and I just was not up to leaving the house. So my sister and my mum came over to look after me, which was very nice of them. My sister was here because my mum and her were going to a funeral the following day. On to Friday, it was work again, and then there was a patient kicking off at work, and also a family member shouted at me for like 20 minutes on the phone, and it was just really freaking rough. Like, this week at work was really hard, and the following week was not much better. And yeah, I think it was hard for everybody, but because of how stressed I'm feeling at work and how hard I'm finding work, it felt impossible to me. Honestly, I was so glad just to be there for 4 hours. I don't know what I'll do if I have a day like that. That's rough. Like, that I have to do the whole day off, which is going to happen. It is going to happen, but God, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Came home from work and did some odd jobs, but I was feeling really low. Had a load of cuddles, and then ended up fooling around with Soshi. We worked out our budget, caught up. We hadn't really been monitoring it, so we updated our budget, and then played some Plate Up to try and pull me out of my funk. Because of how shitty I was feeling and how shit this work week was, I was meant to go to my cousin, she is my friend, but my cousin's wedding, and it was their wedding day on Saturday, but unfortunately I was absolutely not up to going, which was really upsetting and really disappointing, but it happened. So I was really in my feelings, both about like I was feeling crap and about having missed their wedding. So I tried to have a bit more of a chilled day and did some embroidery. I'm working on a Wicked embroidery. We are seeing Wicked in April. I am so excited. So yeah, we're doing that. But yeah, then I wrapped a load of gifts, including Mother's Day gifts for my mum and stuff, and some presents for Christina, for her and my friend that had the baby and her little one. I replied to some emails and then I went grocery shopping. We just buy like little bits of the groceries, like fruit and milk, so we tend to go like twice a week just to get those little bits. I did some filming and designed some scripts. I was reading Wired differently, watched some IT Crowd, played Play Up, and had sexy plans to finish up the day. On to Sunday, I slept really badly. My sleep is awful at the moment. It's so bad. You'd have thought being back at work would make me sleep better, but it really isn't. And oh my god, I'm really ahead of myself. Why am I talking so fast when I'm never this ahead? I don't really know what's going on. I'm normally telling stories and stuff and far behind. But yeah, I'm really sleeping badly at the moment. And I think this week was the beginning of how bad that got. And I just decided it was time to mark it. I think basically I barely slept on the night. I'm yawning away talking about sleep. That's kind of funny. Yeah, it just was rough. I'm not sleeping. It's bad. I'm getting like 4 hours most nights. It's really rough. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. You thought I'd be sleeping better being back at work. I'm not. I'm sleeping worse. Yay. Did a load of odd jobs, and then I planned my week for the following week. Did my reading of Wired differently and finished that. Then I edited and probably voiceovered a video, to be honest. Then I went to see my mum because it was Mother's Day and she'd been, they stayed down there for the wedding for a few days. They went on Friday, I think, and stayed through till Sunday. So I went to see my mum when she got home. Then I sorted some Lego with her because that's what she wanted to do. Came home and did some tidying to like reset for the week. Played a heck of a lot of Plate Up because Plate Up is just my jam and I play it a lot at the moment. Like I quite often am playing it twice a day, but I'm not marking it in twice a day because otherwise it would just take over my planner. Like there was a period where I was like oh my god, words. We were just... I can't even think. Every time I wasn't doing a task, we were playing Play It Up. I've got Socia a bit bored of it now, so I'm trying to play it a bit less so he doesn't get completely bored of it. I can play it on my own, but it's just much nicer and much more fun with him. So, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of it for the week, and I'm ahead of myself, and this never happens. And there's only a minute left of this video, to be fair, which is going to mostly be me showing off the spread, because we love a beautiful spread. And I am obsessed with how this came out. I really do love monochrome kits. I just think they pop like nothing else, and it's just stunning, and it just makes me so happy. So here I am attempting to put my planner back together and failing miserably, apparently. I don't know what I'm doing off to the side. But yeah, here is the spread. Ain't it pretty? I'm closing up the extenders there, and here are our leftovers. Let me know what you think of this spread. Do you like doing this kind of spread? Have you used this kit? Have you picked it up? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to show you this with different lighting as well to show off that beautiful, beautiful hollowness, because it is beaut. I love a good hollow moment, and this is blue hollow. So thank you for watching. Comment, like down below, all that kind of jazz. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.